Welcome back, traders and NIO degenerates. We are going to be getting into, you guessed it, your favorite, the one, the only NIO stock, ladies and gentlemen. And there's some minor things to cover today on NIO, but make sure to stay the full length of the video because we are doing immense DD on NIO and then also some viewer recommendations. So I make sure to take you guys' viewer recommendations very seriously. So make sure to slap the subscribe button and let's get into this thing. All right, NIO stock. You opened up the week doing something very, very good, and then you weren't able to hold that bullish momentum like we had talked about you needing to do, right? So you close a shooting star candle. Not the best close at all. I mean, you look at the last two candles and you can see, last three, you see a bullish spinning top, a hanging man candle, and then a shooting star candle. Those two at the end there, those are two of some of the most bearish candlestick patterns, and to see them back to back is not great on our beloved NIO, especially at such a crucial level like 771 that we have been preaching time and time again that you need to break above this and hold it. And it looks like you may be doing some kind of rising wedge formation, which would suggest that you have upwards price action, but only until $9. So we're gonna have to see how you react to this, these levels, right? This is your 1, 2, 3, could be your fourth touch, and your 1, 2, 3 could be your fourth touch here. So that is why it is a valid channel. And I want to analyze and watch this closely. But what matters here, guys, is what you do tomorrow. If you are able to get above 771 and you close above it, that will be significantly bullish. And you'll look to close the week that way because that would be your highest weekly close on NIO stock since we started covering it. So that would be very, very good. Your RSI wedge or your RSI pennant here, you're still within. Now you are, to no shock, seeing a little bit of downside here after crossing below the RSI band, which happened right on this hangman candle. But you really do not have long until you hit the bottom of this channel, approximately 4 points on the RSI before you look to find some kind of bounce. And you, truthfully, guys, you only have so long within this channel before you decide what you want to do. Do you want to hold the current trend or you're looking to form a new one, right? And it can still remain bullish here if you reject this, but bounce off of the midline. Usually the midline of the RSI, guys, if you guys don't know what that is the 50 mark on the RSI, approximately right here, can be used as establishing a trend or testing a trend and confirming bullish. You look here on just the recent price of the RSI, you can see almost tapped it there, came down to 51, bounce. That's bullish continuation. Tapped it there perfectly, bounced into the bull zone. That is bullish continuation. Rejected it here and knifed down. That was bearish continuation. You could see what that did to the price, right? You can see that the price went all the way up to $4 and then all the way down to the low threes. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. You can see bounce, rejection, a whole lot of rejection on NIO's chart history. So it's something that I would not like to see happen. I would like to see NIO hold the 50 on the RSI. If you are going to come down here and potentially look to gap fill a couple of these gaps that you have right back at, what is that now? 727. That would be the most likely gap fill. 629. And then 568. Those are the 3 levels you're looking to fill if you do end up coming down here and spilling over. And maybe it looks something like this, right? You fail to hold, you come back down. I'd like to hold this uptrend personally. Let's get rid of that. Whoops. I would personally like to hold this uptrend. I think when you drop this uptrend that you tapped, if you drop that uptrend, you could potentially be looking for a larger peel back to 560, and that would be your bullish confirmation in making this shoulder, head, shoulder, and maybe it even comes all the way down to 4 to be a little bit more symmetrical here. But one thing is for sure, 771 is going to be absolutely critical to hold above and close above here. So that is what we're watching on NIO. If you jump into the 4 hour, because I was having a little bit of a struggle just analyzing, is this a rising wedge? Is it any kind of other pattern? I like to use the 4 hour chart to really specify the micro chart. And you can see here on the 4 hour, you are consolidating on the MACD, and you are looking to form some kind of wedge potentially here before inevitably covering that ground between 771 and $8. That would be your best case scenario on NIO stock, that you have this kind of wedge formation here along with the RSI wedge, and you break both with confluence and with volume, right? Because that has been the one thing that has been lacking. If you look at the daily chart on NIO stock, the only good thing I will say about the last 2 bearish closes was you look at the volume, right? The bulls are still in control of the volume. And you can see here, bullish, bullish, bearish, 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 and it's decreasing. The bearish volume is decreasing. So if you were to find some kind of consolidation at higher prices, this is your moment. This is the time that you would do that because you have decreasing volume. I give a shout out, an example right here, right? Consolidation, 3 bearish candles, but 3 candles going lower in volume before you saw a 3% pump, and then more bearish consolidation before you saw a very, very large candlestick and an increase in bullish volume that happened the following week, right? And it's been the same thing all throughout this leg up, consolidation, leg up, consolidation, leg up, consolidation, leg up. The only thing that I'm witnessing here that could potentially be a bearish turnaround signal is your bullish volume is not getting any larger. The largest bullish volume you had was an 822 almost a month and a half ago. So we're looking to continue this bullish ramp up. But what I will say is, although the daily and the 4 hour is looking a little skeptical on the short term, like you might need a little bit of a breather, right? There is one thing that is unchanged on this chart. And that is the freaking monthly candles, guys. I mean, look at how bullish the monthly outlook is. And I'm not going to take anything away from you, NIO holders. This is probably the nastiest chart setup on the monthly time frame I have ever seen. So when in doubt, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to zoom out, because the full macro picture here explains a very, very bullish setup. And it is very common to see consolidation after the 3 rising, or the 3 white soldiers pattern, before seeing an indicative, a very bold volume candle explode you out of this range, because this candlestick pattern, the 1, 2, 3 punch, that was not only with the candles, but also with the volume, right? Increasing volume each step of the way. You're also looking for that 4th boom boom candle that typically will come with this formation. You saw it here, 1, 2, 3. This was consolidation, but 11%. You saw a significant drawback, and then boom boom candle city pursued, right? You're now looking for that. You're looking to close out this month at least around the highs, right? Have a high candle close of the month, and I'd like to see above 771, because that is our the levels we're fighting with, duking it out, right? Close above 771, and things become very, very real on this stock, with levels of 9, 45, 13, and 16 before you look to have an explosive move. If you get anywhere above 16, I think you're going straight to 26 at that weekly gap fill. So that'll be very interesting on NIO Stock. And then one more time, we'll zoom out here, guys, because when in doubt, make sure to zoom out. You can see probably one of the largest quarterly candles and the most bullish volume stick reversals I've seen in quite some time. Once again, the macro of NIO Stock looks insane. So it doesn't really matter how long it takes for this to play out. Just know that when you zoom out, the stock looks freaking filthy. So take that on your shoulder. Make sure that when you are in doubt, zoom out, right? Look at the quarterly MACD. Just look at how close that has come to now crossing the closest since 2020 before you saw this very crazy meme cap market when you rallied from the cross, guys. 3,224%. Holy Toledo. That would be insane. And you look at the decrease of volume, bearish volume on the quarterly chart. So that's almost a year of price action right there. And then boom, right? Boom, boom, boom. You see crazy volume step in here. And so what I'd like to see is a continuation of that in better sense. I'd like to see something. This is probably more comparable to this, where you saw a drawdown and then bull step in and really ramp this thing up. But I'd like to see continuation as soon as after next month, right? Okay. The yearly chart, haven't really looked at it. Doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great. Nothing special. So that is my NIO coverage for the day. I'm going to get into a viewer suggested stock, and that stock is Snapchat, aka ticker symbol SNAP. Looks very, very disgusting. When you jump into this stock on the macro, and I commented back when they asked me to watch and look at this stock, I was like, all right, I'll do it. And then I started to chart myself, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness, this thing looks freaking filthy. So you can see here back from 2020, I believe. This was 2017 to 2018 and 2019 into 2020. You had this literally perfect inverse head and shoulders here that if you took the profit target from, right, take that run, you put it on top, and you met pretty much perfectly, guys, pretty much perfectly met your profit target from that inverse head and shoulders, which, by the way, is no small move. I mean, that is a 375% move, guys. And since then, you have established this macro falling wedge, as well as a kind of like a cup and handle pattern on the RSI that you are now breaking above the monthly RSI band for the first time since back in April of 2023 when you ran, what was that? 122% in 214 days. So very, very significant, guys. You go to the quarterly chart, it gets even more crazier because you're looking at the potential first quarterly cross on the MACD or on the RSI as you look to break this falling wedge, right? And so what I'd like to see if you are a snap holder, a snap bull, is I very clearly here drew this uptrend because this is a very important uptrend. This was your macro uptrend that you held all the way from 2018 to the 2022 recession and then bounced along all the way until 2025. So that is a 7-year trend line right there that you have tested and rejected now, and getting the breakout or potential breakout out of this falling wedge, you need to reclaim this, test, and then go. Very, very similar. If you guys want some similar stocks or crypto that are doing this, you look at Ethereum. Ethereum had a broken formation, a busted wedge, right? And although this channel, this falling wedge is busted, this uptrend is. So often do you see a fake out before you really, really begin to move, and the setup is there for it to happen, right? You're crossing the monthly RSI band. You're crossing the quarterly RSI band as you look to break out of this falling wedge. So even if you peel back here, guys, I mean, you're only going down to $7 before you really get tight in this falling wedge and then look to rocket out of there. So I really, really like the way that Snap is looking here. And just to give some comparison, right? You look at the freaking volume. I have no idea what happened here on this chart or why the volume is as strong as it is. But to see that this is happening at the end of the falling wedge gives me significant bullish bias and conviction that this thing is about to go crazy, potentially into that $15 to $17 resistance level. Before establishing a new base and then looking to go higher. But one thing is for sure, you're above this uptrend at $10. It's going to be very important to see how the stock reacts to 17, as that was your previous resistance, right? You bounced off of it here, and then it was the shoulder resistance of this inverse head and shoulder that once you broke above, you absolutely went ballistic, guys. I mean, you broke above 17. And it slingshotted you 377%, right? Makes sense because that was your inverse head and shoulders resistance point. But above that, guys, above the 200-day EMA, you have $24. And $24 is important because this was the resistance that you closed below off of your monthly candlestick IPO, initial public offer. And then you closed below after rallying and rejected, and then eventually you crossed above it, right? You also bounced heavily, getting a bullish hammer candle on the monthly time frame here, and bouncing off the 200-day EMA. So it'll be interesting. Those are the two levels I'm looking for on Snap. I think above that, guys, honestly, you have a slingshot into $42. So, I mean, this thing can get so crazy if you begin to scale these two macro resistance points, horizontal resistances, and I really like the setup. I love crossing the RSI band. I love the bullish volume stepping in here. I mean, this was just last month, guys, and I'm serious. The largest bullish volume candle on the entire stock history. So just take that into perspective, that is the kind of setup we're talking about here, and it's getting me very, very bullish. And very jacked on this stock, just freaking talking about it. So potentially another portfolio ad. Make sure to drop other Snap like suggestions in the comments. Drop donations if you love me. Make sure to slap the subscribe button. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. God bless. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Woo-wee.